welcome to today's video. I am starting another yarn crawl today. I'm going to go on the Maine yarn cruise, but the first thing I have to do is actually get up to Maine. My original plan was I was actually going to do 2 yarn crawls in succession, so that way I wouldn't have to spend the entire day driving from Philly to Maine, because that's a 10-hour trip. But about 3 days before I was going to go on the other yarn crawl in the Hudson Valley got a summer's worth of rain in one day. So I've had to postpone that one, which means I am now going to do the Philly to Maine trip in one day. And I'm driving by myself, which is not the best situation. The best situation would have been to space it out over a couple days, but now that I am going to have to drive in one shot for this, I decided to make the best of a bad situation. So I've found a yarn that I've been waiting to use, and I found the perfect pattern for it. And every time that I'm going to take a stop today at a rest area or whatnot, I'm going to work a little bit on the pattern. So we'll see how far I get before I make it up to Maine. Okay, I'm currently in Vince Lombardi rest area, and I'm pretty much breezing through New Jersey. This is the last rest stop in New Jersey. But my car would not connect to my phone, so I'm stopping to make sure that my phone is charged, which means we're going to have our first crochet break. So this is the yarn that I've been saving that I'm going to use, and I got my pattern in here. I'm going to be making these Christmas lights. So I think if I just make like one of these per rest stop that I take, I should be on a good pace. It'll be like a nice long break. So I'm gonna give my phone a chance to charge and start on the first Christmas light. I'm almost done the first bulb, and I forgot that I was going to need stuffing to finish this. I brought yarn scraps and stuffing, but I didn't bring them with me in the rest stop area, so I'm just gonna cut up some scrap yarn in order to fill up the stuffing of the bulb. It's also not my fault though, because the pattern does not say to stuff anywhere. It just assumes I'm going to do it. And the additional supply says yarn needle. It doesn't say stuffing, but when I look at the picture of the bulb, there is clearly stuffing inside of it. So I'm just gonna quickly cut up some yarn so that way I can finish one bulb and keep on track. I finished the first bulb. Turned out pretty cute. And this is a lesson to always have scrap yarn, because you never know what you need it. Turned out I was wrong about them not including instructions to stuff the thing. They did have the instructions to stuff as you go along by row 6, but they still did not include the stuffing in the materials thing, so they only get half of that picture there. I ended up buying some munchkins because they are the good luck charm for traveling in New England, to make sure that you have the traffic that you want to have. Although I'm not going to eat them right away, I'm going to hold on to them for a little bit, but I think it's time for some Hamilton and finally get out of New Jersey and hopefully just cut through New York pretty quickly. We'll see how quickly it goes. It'll be quicker once we pass New York City. I'm in Connecticut, just stopped by, had lunch at the rest stop, and I got 2 more bulbs done. I did 2 instead of 1 because I needed time for my phone to charge. When it gets close to like 50%, it's like, let's not risk that. That brings the total of bulbs up to 3. I'm in Massachusetts right now. Took a refill break. I just refilled my water bottle. I refilled the charge on my phone, and I'm about to refill the gas tank. I finished 3 bulbs while I was in there. I swear I'm not going for a Fibonacci sequence, but that's how many I had to make in order to actually get my phone charged above 80%, which is the point where I feel comfortable going until the next stop. It's also good that I pulled over when I did, because when I went into the rest stop, it was beautiful weather, but while I was in the rest stop, the sky just opened up and rain just came pouring down. It seems to have gotten a little bit less intense at this point, so I'm hoping that I avoided the hardest part of it. I'm Maine! Woo! I stopped by the first rest area that I saw, hoping it would have meal options. It does not. It is a very beautiful rest area. like nice wooden buildings with shingles and whatnot, but there was no food here outside of vending machines, and I'm not about to have a vending machine meal. So I just made one bulb here because I didn't want to spend too much longer here because I have like a little, like an hour left, not including getting the food. And I didn't have to charge it up to where I was expecting it to be. So now I just have the last leg of the journey to do at this point. But it was just one bulb at this rest area. So that means I'm now at 7, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm at 7. Alright, I just pulled into the Kennebunk rest area, which was the rest area that I thought was the first rest area going into Maine. This is the only rest stop in which I'm not going to crochet while I'm here because it is currently 7:52 p.m. and I'm staying at a relative's house, and I know she likes to go to bed around 9 o'clock-ish. So I don't want to unnecessarily cause her to stay up terribly late. So at this point, I'm just gonna go in, get some food, then come back out. So unfortunately, there'll be no bulb here, but if I can also keep on driving while the weather is like before the sun goes down, while the weather is still nice, that's also a plus because I'm going into rural Maine here. It's going to be a bit dark, and I know the place where I'm going to end my trip on, it comes up suddenly on the road. I made it to Maine. It did take a little bit longer than expected, but I ended up getting a lot of the bulbs crocheted simply because I had the little mishap with my phone where the battery went low. So I had to spend time to wait for it to get charged. So I arrived like over the 12-hour mark on the way here. But I ended up completing 7 bulbs. So that is what I made today. Hold one by itself so we can get the whole effect. Yeah. And it's interesting with this particular pattern, because I was working it with rows, I didn't really need a stitch marker in order to do it, because it kept having me slip the stitch, and well, where I slipped the stitch, that's where the next row started, so it was pretty easy. I'm very happy with the progress I made with this. I still have a lot of the yarn left, so I'm definitely gonna have more yarn that I can use to make the bulbs. I do have the yarn that is separate from this that will connect the bulbs to each other to look more like a garland of lights. That is how I survived a 10-hour drive while forcing myself to take breaks, and it's good. Like, I actually felt like I was more engaged during the breaks, and it actually provided a break from just staring, which is basically what driving is. It's staring. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.